Morning, everybody. It's just coming up to 7 a.m. on Tuesday morning. It's time for the morning stretch class. Hope everyone is well. I'll just give it a minute for people to tune in, and then we'll crack on with the morning stretches. Hopefully, get you set up for the day, nice and limber, and get rid of any aches and pains you may have. So, like I said, I've just got about just under a minute before 7 o'clock. So, give everyone an opportunity to tune in. So I hope everyone's keeping well, and I know a lot of you are sort of back at work now, a degree of normality. So I'm hoping you're finding time to get this done prior to your day at work. So it's only a 30-minute session, and you get a lot of benefits just from 30 minutes. So I'll make that 7 o'clock. So we'll just start with some controlled breathing and a little bit loosening off, because I don't know about you, but I've slept funny, so my neck's quite tight today. So we'll spend a bit of time just working on those bits first, and then onto the spine as well. So, as always, make sure you're nice and comfortable. Got a little bit of space around you. Drink to hand as well. I'll put in a couple of drink breaks. And just start with a little bit of controlled breathing. So, in through the nose. And then out through the mouth, nice and smooth. Always worth doing this for a couple of minutes before you stretch, because it'll actually relax your mind enough and your body enough to allow you to stretch out a little bit better. Okay? Pardon me? Okay, so breathe into the nose. And out through the mouth. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. And keep both breaths nice and smooth and about the same length. So about 3 in, 3 out, or 4 in, 4 out. One more. And then just start to lift the shoulders on the in-breath. And then breathe out and drop them. And now lift, and then open the chest on the in-breath. And then breathe out, let your shoulders come forward, and your shoulders drop. Now do the same thing, but inflate the stomach as well. So you lift the shoulders, open up the chest, and now the belly to push outwards as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, the belly pushes in and up, and the shoulders come forward. And then one more. Okay, good. Okay, so sit normally, and now on the out breath, just turn the chin over the shoulder, and then the in breath to return. Okay, one more each way. And then again, without moving the body, just try and tilt the head on the out breath breathe in on the return, and then the other way, and back. One more each way. Okay, so for the next one, you can take one arm behind the back and get hold of the crease of the other arm, which is nice and straight. So you're holding this arm here. Try and relax. What this should be doing is pulling the shoulder down a little bit. And then we're going to turn the ear away from that shoulder. So just from the centre point, as you breathe out, take the ear down to the opposite side. And then back on the in-breath. You should feel quite a big stretch there on that side because it's been pinned down, the shoulder can't rise at all. So nice and gently, breathe out and back. Just 2 more times. And 1 more. Back, make sure you're in the middle, relax the shoulders, okay, and then go to the other side. So this arm straight, get hold of it behind the back, make sure it's pulling that shoulder down, and then on the out breath, just gently tilt the head away. Should be quite a big stretch, and then breathe in and come back. And 2 more times. And 1 more. And then back to the middle, relax completely and take the arms away. Okay, so now just 5 times, you're going to breathe in, bring the shoulders up and tense the shoulders and neck. And we're going to do a slightly shorter, sharper breath out, so relax. Okay, but make sure your head's in a nice straight line. So you're going to breathe in, tense the shoulders, and out. So you breathe in, tense, and out. Breathe in, out. 2 more, breathe in, out. 1 more. And out. Good opportunity to get a drink because I'm starting to lose my voice. So now we're going to start rotating the shoulders round again. So remember, you're turning the backs of the hands together, the open palms away, but we're trying to rotate from the shoulder joint more, so it's not the wrist doing the work, it's the shoulder rotating. You'll see it lifts as well. So you breathe in and then breathe out, rotate those shoulders, and then breathe in and come back. What you're doing is try a few different angles. I'm a little bit limited for space, but you go 1 high, 1 low, or out to the side. This isn't far off sort of one of your stretches you probably do when you wake up anyway. Just do it 1 more time. And back. And just loosen off the shoulders. So we can do a double stretch on this one. We work 2 directions. So you're going to have your hands around the head, back of the head, and first out breath you're going to tuck your chin to your chest and pull the elbows in. Then you're going to breathe in and come back to the middle. And you're going to breathe out, lift the chin and really open the arms up. and then breathe in and come back to the middle. So it's got two directions, this one. So you're going to breathe out, tuck your elbows in, coach into your chest. Breathe in and come back to the middle. Breathe out, lift the chin and pull the elbows back. Back to the middle. Hand down. Back to the middle. Hand up. Back to the middle. Down. Back to the middle. And up. Back to the middle. And we'll do it one more time. Up. And back to the middle. Okay, make sure you're in the neutral position again. Take your arms away. Gently loosen off the shoulders. Okay, so I want to go to all fours now. So a nice straight line. So hands in line with your knees as you're making a nice box. And then slowly just start to sit back. And stay there and just breathe naturally. And you feel like every breath your body's getting a little bit closer to the floor. And you should be really relaxing into this stretch. Okay, then gently come forward into your fours. And we're going to start with the spine. So just going to do cat camel, so lifting up through the belly button and then pushing down through the belly button. Don't mind which way you breathe on this, as long as you're breathing in and out nice and smoothly. Generally, whichever one you find hardest is the one you probably want to breathe out on. So if you find the drop harder than the lift, that would be the one you breathe out on, okay? So you're going to lift up through the spine. Into the middle and drop down through the spine. Remember, don't expect a good range on the first rep. Once you've done 5 or 6, you'll be having a nice, easy range of movement. And a couple more. And then just sit right back again, so into child's pose. A good 10 seconds in that position. Okay. And then come forward. So now I'm going to take one knee forwards as an advance and then slide back with the other leg. So you're coming right down onto that leg. This stretch shouldn't be too difficult, it should be quite easy. And again, just keep using that out breath to relax that a little bit more. So you should be able to hang in this position with no effort whatsoever. So keep breathing out to relax. And then start to put the weight into your hands. And then, so 5 reps, you're going to push the hips forward, lift your chin and open up your chest. So you're going to breathe in, and then breathe out. So I'm pushing forward through the hips, up, opening the chest up, lifting my chin, and then you breathe in and come back. And what you're trying to make is a bow. So a bow from that rear leg all the way up. And then one more. so relax there. Change legs over. So one leg straight back, other leg straight forward. Gonna lean down into that leg and just spend 10-15 seconds trying to relax this position. And then just start to come up, put your weight to your hands. And then you're going to take a breath in. And then push your hips forward first, and then lift your chin and chest. And then back. Two more times. And one more. Okay, so relax there. Just come back down and back into child's pose again, just sit right back. So for every stretch we do your spine bending inwards, we can always make sure we go back to bending outwards. Just hold that position nicely. And gently curl up through the body. Well done. I hope that's loosened off a little bit, so have a drink and we'll carry on. So we're going to go into a couple of kneeling stretches. So I'm going to move back for. So I'm going to start off with your standard sort of hip flexor stretch. So you're going to kneel and you want a nice straight line. Again, knee, hip, shoulder and ear ideally in a nice straight line, okay? And then from there, just start without moving the body too much. Just try and push the hips forward a little bit. So you're pushing forward from the pelvis. And then what you can do a little bit more is squeeze the glutes together as well. You should feel a nice stretch down this hip flexor. Keep stretching, keep breathing on this one. And now the arm that's with the lower leg, the rear leg, you're going to bring that up, okay, and then you're going to gently turn your body towards the camera, towards your iPad, your phone or your computer, and then just hold the stretch. But same principle, you're still pushing your pelvis forward, and that will have moved the stretch slightly onto the inside of the leg. And again, breathe, keep breathing until it starts to relax. Then come back to the middle again, this time straight position again, both arms up and then away from the rear leg. So you're going to side bend, try not to go forwards, and that will now bring the stretch down this outside of the leg. And you can hear probably what I'm doing there is that's tight for me, so I'm breathing a little bit more consciously to get it to relax. So your breathing should match the effort that you need to do a stretch. And then back to the middle. I'm not going to lie, that bit is really tight on me today. Okay, so gently come out of that. We're going to go on to the other side. So a nice straight line, knee, hip, shoulder, ear. And then just start with the pelvis pushing forward. So hips go forward, glutes squeeze slightly as well. And again, nice stretch down the front of the thigh. that's with the rear leg. That's going to come up. We're going to open out slightly. And again, same thing, push the pelvis forward. And then back to the middle position, both arms up. I'm going to lean away from this leg. Again, try not to deviate because there's a want to go forward or back to help the stretch. I'm going to go exactly sideways, so side bend. Again, gently back to the middle position. And relax there. Okay, just going to do a couple on the back just before we carry on, just to loosen off the spine after that. Because sometimes stretching one thing, you end up inadvertently tensing up something else. So then line your back. Start with a few hamstring stretches. So leg completely relaxed, other leg bent at 90 degrees, and then you're going to breathe out and extend that leg up straight. And breathe in and bend it back. Two more times. Last one. You get to take the leg down, go onto the leg. So breathe out, straighten the leg up. And breathe in and come back. Good, and one more. Okay, now I'm going to do both, so take it easy on this one, but hands behind the legs, and then breathe out and extend both legs up. And as you extend your legs up, you should feel your lower back pushed down into the floor. Good, two more times. And last one. Bring your knees down, bring your knees into your chest, and just gently circle off. And this wants to be nice and loose, nice and relaxed. So about 5 one way and 5 the other. Good. Right, so we're just going to do a little bit on the hip now. So I'm trying to find a flattering angle on the camera. So on this one, what we want is one leg flat on the floor, okay? So my foot's flat on the ground, they give me a nice bit of support. And I'm actually going to lean back a bit and put the weight on my hands as well, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to corkscrew the leg that's out in front. So we're going to externally rotate that leg and then bring it back again. So basically I end up showing you my foot the whole session. So you're going to roll the whole joint to the side and then back, okay? But remember, this needs to be coming from the hip. So it's not the foot and the knee, and definitely not the knee. The knee doesn't rotate anyway, but this whole joint just rotates out to the point where it stops, and then you come back, okay? Feel a bit weird. If you get cramps, stop straight away because it's not uncommon. So you're going to breathe out, externally rotate that leg, and then breathe in and come back. What you'll feel is lots of little muscles inside the hip joint, lots of little ones you're not usually aware of. It's really starting to work. So when you get to the outside, just hold it for about 3 seconds. Just keep squeezing that leg. Like you're trying to get it to go a little bit further, yeah? So when you get to here, mine stops, but I'm still just trying to go a little bit further by contracting the muscles in my hip. You don't want to have your leg particularly off the floor, but you want to lift it just enough to allow you to do the movement. And there's a tell that I'm struggling with it because I want to go further. So I've done that, I've tilted my head, because that tricks me to think I've gone further. Okay, and relax that. So if you're doing that right, you can feel a lot of little things going on in there. It looks easy to do, but once you feel it, you're like, oh God, there's a lot working in that hip joint. So other leg, and then you're gonna externally rotate that entire leg. And breathe in and come back. Oh, it's a massive difference from one leg to the other for me. This one doesn't want to go. Again there's that little tell that I'm struggling because I'm turning my head. So some of these stretches are quite good because they kind of show you your differences from your left to right, because I can definitely feel the difference on my left leg, which is expected because I've got some issues with my left leg, but and my left leg shaking as well. Good, okay, and relax there. Okay, so last one's arm, a little bit limited for space, but it should be fine. We want one leg crossed at the front, so it's pretty much flat. Okay, so we sat with one leg flat. You can still sit back and support. Okay, what we're going to do is take the leg up, and you can take it across to the other side as far as you can without deviating position, so keeping the same position, and then take it back and open it as far as you can go without changing position. Okay, and the main tell is your foot still upright. Okay, so you go as far away across that way, keeping your foot upright, and as far as you can go that way, keeping your foot upright. As soon as your foot starts to turn, gone too far. Okay, so you go across and out. Across again. If you get cramps, stop immediately. And out. These look quite silly, but they're from a section called functional range conditioning. So it's not just about being flexible, it's about having strength at the end of that flexibility. So there's no point being able to do the splits if you can't, for example, apply force at the furthest end of that stretch. Okay, so you need a good mixture of flexibility where you can't apply strength is not a good thing. You need to be very flexible, but also very strong at both ends of the range. So if you can do the splits, you should better bear your weight in the splits as well. And if there's any imbalance between your strength and your flexibility, that's when you get real problems. Most people it's the other way, they're not flexible. They're strong but not flexible. But you can be too flexible and not strong, and that's when you start to get like joint problems. Okay, so then change around. So other leg out in front, and this leg just lifted slightly, and you go across, keeping a dead straight foot upwards, and then open right up. With all these, to know if you can do them properly, it should be nice and smooth, there should be no deviation from any other part of the body, and you should be able to breathe. Pardon me, and there should be no judder in your movement. So this one, I can feel it start to shake slightly as I start to struggle. Good. Okay, good, and one more. Tight. Okay, cool. Right, so we'll leave that now. I'm going to re-stretch these out just because that would have tightened up a little bit. So go onto your fronts. Legs out straight. And just push your pelvis down into the floor. Before you push, make sure you are perfectly straight in a line. Don't push down when you're in a bit of a twist. Gently push your hips down to the ground. And gradually work your chest that little bit higher, but keep your weight on your elbows. Unless you're crazily flexible, if you need to go onto your hands to get a stretch, that's fine. And then very slowly and carefully just start to turn the head. But keep it smooth because the head does affect the lower back. Couple more times. And then just into position again, just gently rock your hips from left to right, but very slowly and controlled. So again, if your lower back's under a bit of tension, any sudden movement, it could cause you to pull a muscle. So your movement needs to be smooth and perfectly controlled. So I'm just rocking from left to right. I'm in complete control of how far I go. Okay, make sure it's in a straight line again. And we're going to just sit back into child's pose again. So back onto your knees and sit right back. And then very gently curl up to the spine. Good, good. Guys, that 30 minutes has flown this morning. I hope you found that beneficial. We did a lot around the hips today. We'll do a little bit more of the functional range conditioning. It's about being able to apply strength at the very far reaches of your flexibility. Again, it's, you know, it's easy to be strong in the middle bit, but when you get to the edges of the flexibility, you still need to be really strong as well. It's going to reduce your chance of injury considerably. So I'll bring a little bit of that in every week now. But guys, I hope you feel good for that. Thursday we'll do a little bit more twisting work. We haven't done a great deal of rotation today, so we'll do a lot more rotation for the spine and the upper body. But guys, have a lovely day. I've got live boxing at 12:30 tomorrow, and 7 on Thursday I'll be back for the morning stretch. So guys, have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon.